You must avoid these mistakes as a triathlete or else.
These top 3 biggest freestyle mistakes will cost you time, money, and energy. As you begin your journey as a triathlete, it's essential to continue to learn, excel, and stay out there training by avoiding injuries. As a coach and a physio, this is a passion of mine and I'm here to help. Mistake number 1 is not having a high elbow throughout your freestyle swim stroke. Doing this reduces drag. When your elbow is high, your forearm is perpendicular to the water's surface. This means that your hand and forearm create less drag as you pull them through the water. If your elbow is lower than your hand, more of your upper arm and shoulder is in the water, creating drag. When your elbow is high, you are set up for less drag and you increase your propulsive force. A high elbow position allows you to catch more water with your hand and forearm as you pull them through the water. This translates to more propulsion force, which helps you swim faster and efficient. In this position, the big, strong latissimus dorsi and chest muscles move water behind you and accelerate you forward. This elbow position is optimal to use the larger muscle groups and reduce stress on the shoulders' smaller muscle groups. Swimming with a high elbow reduces stress on the shoulder joint and small rotator cuff muscles because it allows the large muscle groups to do more of the work. The latissimus dorsi and chest muscles are responsible for the primary propulsion, while the smaller muscle groups such as the rotator cuff and the deltoids assist in stabilizing the shoulder joint. While using the larger muscle groups to move you through the water easier, maintaining a high elbow position helps to improve your technique, since you are forced to engage your core muscles and maintain a horizontal body position in the water. Keeping a high elbow helps you improve your overall swimming technique and body position. Now, swimming with a low elbow position in freestyle can cause a number of problems, including increased drag, reduced propulsion, increased stress on the shoulder joint, and poor body position. When you swim with a low elbow, your form is more parallel to the water's surface, which creates more drag as you pull through the water. This can slow you down and make it more difficult to maintain a fast swimming pace. A low elbow position limits the amount of water you can catch with your hand and forearm, which can reduce the amount of propulsive force you have to generate. This can make it more difficult to swim efficiently and can lead to slower swimming times. When you swim at the low elbow, you rely more on the smaller muscle groups of your shoulder to generate propulsion, which can put a lot of stress on those muscles and increase your risk for shoulder injuries such as rotator cuff tears. Swimming with a low elbow can cause your body to sink lower in the water, which can create drag and make it more difficult to maintain a good body position. This can lead to less efficient swimming and can cause you to tire more quickly. Mistake number 2 is not finishing your stroke and just lifting your hand out of the water as it goes towards your hips. The finished part of the underwater pull phase, just before the arm exits the water, is important because it contributes significantly to your forward propulsion. At this time, your hand and your forearm should be accelerating through the water and creating a significant amount of force that propels you in the direction you want to go. This force is generated by your upper body strength and the speed at which you move your arm through the water. It's important to note that the finish phase of the freestyle stroke is not solely responsible for propelling you forward. In fact, the entire pull phase, from the catch to the finish, contributes to your movement. This is where the high elbow is so crucial for you. But the finish part of your stroke is where you can generate a lot of the propulsion force. To improve this part of your stroke, you can use several tools in and out of the water, such as hand paddles, resistance bands, medicine balls, just to name a few. If you'd like a video in detail about these several tools to improve your finished part of your stroke, comment below.
Before I go into my last tip, let's talk about the 4 main factors that can slow you down in the water. Drag, sometimes called fluid resistance, is a force acting opposing the relative motion of any object moving with respect to the surrounding fluid. Anything that sticks out of your body, like a watch, baggy suit, hair, will create more drag and slow you down. It is like trying to run through thick mud. The more you struggle, the more the mud pulls you down, making it harder to move forward. In swimming, the water molecules are sticky and try to hold down anything that is trying to move through them. That's why the faster you swim, the harder the water tries to hold you back, causing more resistance or drag. And if you have a bulky physique, instead of being a streamlined one, the water will have more surface area to apply that resistance. This is similar to a car when you're driving. There's a reason why Formula One race cars are built the way they are and not like a semi-truck. They have less surface area, which allows them to move through the air quicker. The next time you want some real tough training, wear a shirt in the pool. Note how much longer it takes you to swim that lap or complete that set. We used to do this a lot in college for training purposes. We eventually upgraded to using a parachute, which caused a lot of drag and can really improve your strength and efficiency in the water. Buoyancy is an upward force exerted by a fluid that opposes the weight of the partially or fully immersed object. Buoyancy is like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You want to be just right. If you're not buoyant enough, you will sink like a stone and have to work harder to stay afloat. If you're too buoyant, you might feel like you're floating away and not making any forward progress. So finding that perfect balance of buoyancy is key to moving through the water efficiently. This is the main reason we all pray for a wetsuit legal race, because it allows us to ride higher in the water because of the buoyancy of the suit, which reduces the drag we experience. Now, if you can be higher in the water without a wetsuit, then we're talking about a force to be reckoned with. This means you have watched my other videos and improved your stroke technique. Congrats! And stroke technique is like dancing with the water. If you're like me and have 2 left feet on land, all hope is not lost. Disclaimer, I can't teach you how to dance. Just ask my wife. But I can teach you everything I've learned over the several years of being a competitive collegiate swimmer, club coach, and triathlon coach. When you develop the smooth and graceful freestyle stroke, you'll glide through the water like a swan. Now this takes hundreds of hours in the pool to figure out, but be patient and celebrate the small victories, like breathing every 3 strokes or completing a test set without stopping to take a breath. And like what Teddy Roosevelt said, nothing worth having comes easy. Finally, fatigue could sneak up on you and slow you down considerably, making it tough to keep your momentum. Swimming requires a lot of energy, and if you push yourself too hard, you'll tire out quickly. So pace yourself, take breaks when you need to. There's no shame in catching your breath and recharging your battery.
Now that I talked to you about the major factors that slow you down in the water, the third mistake triathletes make is not switching speeds in practice.
Practicing slow, moderate, and fast swimming in training is extremely important for you to improve your overall fitness, develop race-specific skills, and optimize training efficiency. Swimming at a slow pace helps to build aerobic endurance, improve your ability to maintain a steady speed over long distances, and reduce your risk of injury. This is particularly useful for triathletes like you and me, who need to maintain a consistent pace over a sprint, Olympic, half Ironman, or Ironman distance swim. Swimming at a moderate pace helps to develop your lactic threshold, or the point at which the body begins to produce lactic acid. By swimming at a pace that is slightly faster than your aerobic threshold, you can train your body to process and clear lactic acid more efficiently, which improves your endurance and performance. Lastly, swimming at a fast pace develops speed and power. Practicing at a high intensity will improve your ability to generate a greater propulsive force, which can translate to faster swim times.
Swimming at different speeds allow for you to get a better feel for the water, more streamlined, and glide through the water with ease. So if you don't correct these 3 mistakes, you will not only lose time training, but also waste time away from your family and other obligations. You'll lose money by buying all these fancy equipment or gym memberships and not seeing any results. And lose energy that is not progressing you towards your goal of becoming a stronger swimmer and triathlete.
What detergent do open water swimmers use to wash their clothes? Tide. Make sure to watch this video on hypoxic swimming to improve your ability to fight this fatigue and be more comfortable and conditioned in the water.